chairman of the publicity sector, that for us to know our colleagues who are here and also our observers, it would be nice for us to do personal introductions in the hall. So we are aware and with those who are here, but only for journalists and election observers. So we'll start from this end. Good evening. Keftu Kule, Equality Now newspaper. Can you stand here?
My name is Salman Afufana.
I come back, New newspaper.
Cecilia and Cisse, SLPP TV.
Mohamed Konneh, Epic Radio.
Habib Mansalam Karoko, Sarah Network.
Afternoon, Alivani Kaisaba, a New Storm newspaper.
Alhaji Sain Kamal, News 24.
Mohamed Amin Bayan Eoli.
Mohamed Fofana, Global Times newspaper.
Princess Momo, New Vision newspaper.
Justice Jean Sarah Fox Media.
Ibrahim Kawara, POI Blog.
Mohamed Amarga, Your Mother's newspaper, and also online TV.
Abubakar is content of the traditional Alpha Abu political newspaper. Praise Mr. Kamara, open space newspaper. Mustafa Momo, in town newspaper. Pastor Wallace is a comment. Isaac Swell, open space newspaper. Very good service.
SLPP, Stephen Brown.
Hassan Bush, Commander for Times is better. She will navigate our news to cast. So we find the Epic Radio and State Television. So most is online show.
I started off with news.
Imam Fortune Kuruma, Justice Radio. People content. Maroc. Nine South Carolina.
Well, the pictures will take the analysis of the EU election operations.
Dr. Brown Espasi, Human Rights Commission. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's now my privilege to hand you over to the national chairman and the national campaign manager of his party for the June 24 elections.
Thank you very much. Please permit me to sit down because we need to be.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I'm good for.
campaign party.
Okay, so.
First and foremost, I have to apologize for the coarse nature of my voice. I've been talking for the past 1 month. Everywhere in the country. But I would like to welcome you all to our new week of recall and refurbished National Party headquarters. We have called you because of a necessity to give you the importance of an aggregate of lies and misinformation that have been bandied around by the APC party and its leadership. As you see in life, lies traded around, if not challenged, substantial facts can be presumed to be true. Where, as a party, we are trying to keep our peace to ensure that this election goes smoothly for the total benefit of everyone in this country and even our international partners. But time after time, day after day, month after month, year after year, APC has continued to display their trademark of not only lies but intimidation on unimaginable scale. There is a limit to our patience. From the time we won this election, 2018, the former presidential candidate, still presidential candidate, and the former head of state have refused to accept the results and the outcome of the election. And that is a recipe for their followers to become unreasonable and serve as a catalyst, as a promoter to cause all lot of mayhem. Added to that, they have had their all members, most of them outside this country. For example, the notorious Ade Bayo, the judge in the black name as a pseudonym, but that is not his actual name, to use the media to incite people in this country over and over to the point that we were actually on the bridge and on the brink of war. On 10th, 11 and 12 August last year. Was it not because of the prompt reaction of the trained military personnel and police and other well-meaning civilians, this country will have been sent all the way to the democratic process, which we are responsible for, and go back to where we are in terms of chaos. We have taken all necessary steps for us not to be in that same boat to bring disorder in this country. We believe in the democratic process and we have adhered to all the principles, doctrines, and principles of democracy in this country. Our history is laced with our peace posture, our democratic potential. They are unequal. We brought independence in this country without firing a shot in anger. We brought peace here through the initiative of the current president, which was later on taken over by the late president, SLPP president that brought this war to an end. But we have seen, since we took power, the APC and their apparatchiks have been using threatening words, misbehaving, hitting people. We have got a litany of woes which we have catalogued since election campaign has started. We have evidence to that work. This has now culminated in this last press statement under the guise of a quasi address to the nation, an ordinary presidential candidate, behaving as if the president addressing the nation, addressing his people. The presidential candidate himself and the leadership of the APC have never come out to condemn these perpetrators, these traders of violence, traders of information, misinformation, and disunity in this country. As I said, this document, which they called a press conference to unleash on this nation, the voluminous document is full of inaccuracies, misinformation, deliberate lies, with the full intention to raise tension between the ranks in this country. And we are not going to sit down by and allow this to continue anymore. We have therefore decided, for the first time in many years as SLPP, to call a press conference to debunk this misinformation and agitation on the part of the APC and the leadership. So, without much ado, I will say once more, thank you. And I can see a galaxy of press, men and women, a testimony of the freedom that has the necessary freedom, space that have been given to you to exercise this vital aspect of democracy. And again, I say thank you to our government, Julius Madabio, the president, and the relevant minister who is seated here, for eliminating the hindrance to press freedom, especially remove that libel aspect of our law. Thank you, and I am happy there is a complete proliferation of the news media, which is good and healthy for our democracy. I would also like to extend a welcome and thank you to the other international, like the Elections Monitoring Group and others who have come inside the shores of freedom. As I told you, I should not be seated here. I should be on the campaign trail as campaign chairman, doing the necessary mopping up before June 24 to continue in power. And I have the singular privilege and pleasure to call upon my national Secretary General Umaru Napoleon Kuruma Esquire to give you to read out our press statement with other added documentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, members of the Fourth Estate, other invited guests, our esteemed international observers, national officers of the Israeli People's Party, members of the Israeli People's Party, good afternoon all. First of all, let me apologize to you for starting a bit late, and also to inform you that our office is still under renovation. As you can see, the air conditions are not yet working. We're still working on the electricals, so we have to do with the heat a little bit. But I know in the interest of furthering our democracy, all here to listen to the people. Yesterday, the All People's Congress put out a press statement to the nation. The SLPP has had the opportunity to go through the statement. 90% of what they stated yesterday was an attack on the ECSL and its commissioner, spiced with hate, misinformation, inaccuracies, tribal profiling, etc., etc. The ECSL has a competent body to respond to them adequately. What we are doing today as the SLPP, we are part and parcel of the electioneering process, and we have a local standard in the election for June 24, which the APC has lost, but they are now seeking to influence its outcome by falsely accusing bodies that are responsible for managing the election, starting from the Election Commission, the police, and other institutions. That said, I will now take you through the SLPP press statement, and after that, we'll also present to the press a list of violent incidents the SLPP has suffered in the hands of the APC since the commencement of the campaign. Because we set up an incident reporting office, and we'll be capturing all incidents across the country, and we shall be presenting that to you for the first 2 weeks, what we've suffered in the hands of the APC in many parts of the country. And that said, I now take you through the press statement. I'll read it through, and after for the various media houses. The Israeli People's Party, One Country, One People, Thursday, 5th June 2023, press statement. Attempts by the All People's Congress, APC, to disrupt peaceful elections and reverse Sierra Leone's democratic gains. The Israeli People's Party, SLPP, is gravely concerned about the deliberate attempts by the audience they returned to multi-party democracy in the late 1990s. The general public would recall that on 11th May 2023, the All People's Congress released a press statement which contained a call for a nationwide protest. The said press statement was followed by various reckless threats bordering on national security by the leadership of the All People's Congress, including the National Secretary General, Mr. Lansana Dumbuya Esquire, and the former APC Chairman of the Western Rural District Council, Mr. Kasho Halomko, as evidenced by Israeli police press statement dated 20th May 2023. In recent weeks, the APC's call for a nationwide protest was purposefully amplified by the notorious APC member called Adebayo, nickname, residing in Holland, and carefully orchestrated for the 12th and 13th June 2023. This botched nationwide protest prematurely precipitated into the APC press conference held on Wednesday, that's yesterday, 14th June 2023, as part of a sustained effort to undermine the electoral process and create instability in our country. The controversial statement by the APC's presidential candidate, Dr. Samura Matthew Wilson Kumara, at the press conference of yesterday is nothing but more than a compendium of substantiated claims, conjectures, blatant inaccuracies, and preposterous allegations by a candidate who is apprehensive of an embarrassing defeat at the forthcoming polls. Accordingly, the Australian People's Party hereby states the following. 1. That the demand by the APC presidential candidate for the resignation of the Chief Electoral Commissioner and other electoral commissioners is an outrageous attempt to use the Board of Electoral Commissioners as scapegoats for the ill-preparedness of the APC for the 24th June 2023 multi-tier elections. 2. The suggestion by the APC presidential candidate to replace the Board of Electoral Commissioners with a so-called independent, internationally accredited team of electoral commissioners to conduct Sierra Leone's national elections is disrespectful to our collective consciousness and an attack on the sovereignty of Sierra Leone and the specter of his unfitness to be elected as president of the sovereign state. 3. The appointment of the Chief Electoral Commissioner was approved by the Parliament of Sierra Leone following due parliamentary scrutiny by the ruling and opposition members of Parliament, including members of the All People's Congress, the APC. The accusation of any political association against the Chief Electoral Commissioner re-echoes his mere campaign by the APC, which should be roundly rejected by every well-meaning Sierra Leonean. 4. His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio and the ECSL made an announcement for the date of the multi-tier elections over a year ago to provide all political parties adequate time to plan and prepare for the June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections. Several engagements have also taken place over the last 12 months involving all political parties and election management bodies through the political parties liaison committee meeting chaired by the ECSL and the election steering committee co-chaired by the Chief Minister and the United Nations Resident Coordinator to promote free, fair and credible elections. The APC has participated in political parties liaison committee meetings where concerns relating to the electoral processes have been raised, and the ECSL has addressed those concerns in the presence of other political parties and members of the civil society. The bogus demands and unacceptable deadline by the APC presidential candidate and mere characteristic shenanigans by a political party desperately seeking a postponement of the 24th June 2023 multi-tier election that has a tendency to create a constitutional crisis in our country. The SLPP will stoutly reject any attempt to disrupt the 24th June 2023 multi-tier election as a result of APC's failure. I repeat that again. The SLPP will stoutly reject any attempt to disrupt the June 24, 2023 multi-tier elections as a result of APC's failure to prepare for these elections. Without doubt, there is no law that requires the ECSL to give a national register of voters to any political party. Any attempt by ECSL to provide political parties the disaggregated data of voters, including voters' identification numbers, voters' addresses, dates and places of birth, will not only be in contravention of the privacy and confidentiality of voters, but also endanger the lives and security of voters. The voter ID cards issued to all Sierra Leoneans voters for their keep do have sufficient information about all registered voters in the Republic of Sierra Leone. 10. The SLPP reaffirms its confidence in the electoral board, in the board of electoral commissioners, and admonish the ECSL to continue discharging within the provisions of the law. Any aggrieved political party must seek judicial or administrative redress in line with the Constitution of the Republic of Sierra Leone. 11. The APC presidential candidate's repeated assertion that the only outcome of a free and fair elections the APC will accept is an APC victory sets a dangerous tone for a brief when he realized that the APC had lost the election to the SLPP and subsequently refused to concede defeat. All well-meaning Sierra Leoneans must robustly condemn the APC presidential candidate for sowing the seed of post-election violence through peddling such lies and assertions. 12. The presidential candidate, members and supporters of the SLPP, confident of a resounding victory on the 12th June 2024 multi-tier election, hereby call on all and sundry to continue our peaceful elections campaign across the country. Finally, the SLPP is surprised by the silence of members of the diplomatic community and civil society organizations to condemn the APC's systemic pattern of inciting violence and threats to undo our democracy, peace, national security, especially through the APC's mouthpiece called Adebayo, who is financed by senior members of the All People's Congress. At the very least, we expect local and international election monitoring bodies to issue a statement on the validity or otherwise accuracy of the claims made by the APC presidential candidate. Failure to do so will undermine their role as moral guarantors of our democratic governance. I thank you all for your audience. In addition to the statement, Dr. Samura also yesterday called on the SLPP and President Julius Maada Bio to adhere to the election peace pledge, which we signed under the supervision of the Commonwealth. It is saddening to inform you all present here that even before the signing and after the signing, the APC has deliberately refused to go by the said peace accord, the said peace pledge. And I'll refer you to point 1 and point 3. Point 1, we clearly agreed that we unreservedly and publicly condemn tribalism, regionalism, sectionalism, hate speech, acts of violence, attacks on citizens and groups, including past incidents resulting in loss of life, damage to property, and the use of social media in ways to incite violence, disunity, and disrespect. 3, that we disassociate ourselves from those party members found to be involved in any acts of provocation, incitement of violence, or violence to commit, taking these measures against them. The APC, before and after the signing, has never come out to put out any statement to condemn Mr. Adebayo, aka known as Kamara Will, who is residing in Holland and who keeps perpetuating, inciting violence in our country through his notorious audio messages. So the APC is in breach of this, and we want to remind you and the international community, and particularly the Commonwealth, under which auspices we signed this peace pledge. In addition to this, I shall be sharing those documents with you later. I also want to draw your attention to the several incidents we've captured at our incident reporting center relating to violent incident perpetrated against members of the Australian People's Party by the All People's Congress, copies of which will be shared again to members of the press. But we have captured several incidents and cases reported, some relating to assault, arson, etc., in many parts of the country, like Bombali, Karine, Moyamba, Potloko, Kono, etc. Many of the cases were reported to Israeli police. They are under investigations. Many of them are captured on videos, etc., etc. So this is where we find ourselves, and as we continue. But we are pleased to inform you that the SLPP continues with our campaigning. As we speak to you, our presidential candidate, His Excellency Julius Madabio, is on the campaign trail today in the Western Rural District, and he shall be proceeding from there to Kenima to proceed tomorrow to Kaidam. We are sure that these elections will hold, we believe, and we are very much confident that on the 24th of June 2023, His Excellency Julius Madabio will be resoundingly elected as President of the Republic of Sierra for the second time. I thank you all for your audience. God bless you all. All right. So we'll pause later for questions from the press, and during my responses, probably I'll refer you, cite some of the areas who suffered violence against our party members. I thank you all for your audience.
One country, one people, one country, one people, one mother glue, one mother glue. Hello. This is a press conference. Please, I know you are in the campaign mood, but let us limit the campaign messages after limit to the end of this serious business. This is a very serious business. We have given our position on issues which borders not only on politics, but on social and economic issues of this country. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know you have a barrage of questions. It's within your ambit of jurisdiction, and it's within your own lacuna to do so. But we'll try to limit it to 5 questions. Please don't get offended, because I should be leading a campaign. But I would not love to have been here by now. We should be on the campaign trail, and that's what I want to advise Samura. Take your message to the people. Don't behave like a crybaby or like a spoiled child. Politics, again. If you know Abraham, withdraw. Anyway, we don't talk agenda. So, questions. I would like the publicity chairman. Publicity chairman. Yeah, we are going to handle now. You pick them. Yes. Hands up, those who want to give or question or ask for a clarification.
Yeah, thank you very much. Mohamed Konneh, a lecturer at Family College of Constantis, and also it has to do with the threat imposed by Samura Kamara that there will be some form of chaos if these demands are not adhered to. So we want to know from our part, because it's very significant, it has to do with the well-being of members of the SLPP, bona fide members, who will be attacked if there's any recipe for chaos. So what's the stance of the party? That's my concern.
Thank you. Please, let me just admonish. This is a press conference, so we ask that please, let us limit it to the press. Please. Those that are representing media institutions here, please. All right, so who next?
Mohamed Konneh from AYV. There was a press release this morning from the All People's Congress Party Of course, the voting started today for pilgrims and security personnel that will be involved during the elections. According to the APC party, they were not informed, and from investigations, there were no party agents of the All People's Congress Party at the voting center. Is it the same for the SLPP?
Thank you. Any more? Only press, please. Only for the press.
My name is Samuel. I just need a clarification on Secretary General. You make mentions of incidents that happened during the campaign, which you accused the All People Congress of violence. Can you please elaborate on that?
All right.
I am Omaru for Radio Montgomery. How challenging is it for the SLPP and the Leone government to dispel misinformation in the midst of our elections?
One more, then we take the next 5. We are still brainstorming. All right, well, we will ask the secretary to respond. All right, okay.
Yes, my name is Mahmoud Silla, Deputy Managing Editor of the Nature newspaper. My question is, which legal or constitutional rights that a presidential candidate to ask the Electoral Commissioner to step down within 24 hours?
Please ask your question again.
My question is, let me correct myself. My question is, which legal or constitutional right does the presidential candidate have the right to ask the Electoral Commissioner to step down within 72 hours?
Why come over? Go and spawn, man. Keep the internet inside spawn. You start out two things together. How do you go on?
Thank you very much. We have jotted down all your your questions. So as a democratic institution, we are what we call in basic O-level economics, division of labor, or specificity of functionalism. So I will now, as chairman, give each member of this table to answer to certain specific questions based on their expertise. The threats to Samura Kamara by Samura Kamara on 72 hours notice, and of course the inherent violence. The chairman of our campaign publicity committee to respond. Thank you. Oh, can you? Okay, it's kind.
Thank you very much, Evan. Well, yesterday I was actually very glued to the television throughout the over 1 hour statement that the presidential candidate made. What I heard him was listing down issues that he found as irregular in the electoral process. And like the Secretary General said at the beginning of his statement, over 90% of his statement was really accusing the ECSL of doing things that are improper. And then he ended by making demands. And the most concrete demand that I heard him make was that the Chief Electoral Commissioner and all the 4 commissioners must resign within 72 hours. He was short of saying what he will do or what the APC will do if the Chief Electoral Commissioner and the commissioners fail to resign. I listened to their publicity sector this morning on 98.1, and he was asked exactly that question. What will you do if within 72 hours the electoral commissioners, the commissioners do not resign? Then he said, we will come back to the nation to say to say what next steps we are going to take. So really, he has not really made it clear yet what they will do if the Chief Electoral Commissioner and the other commissioners fail to resign. I think our Minister of Information was there this morning too. They have not yet said what they will say. But let us assume that within 72 hours, the commissioners don't resign, which is going to be the case. They are not going to resign. That's a fact. And let's assume, therefore, that they resort to violence. If they resort to violence, there are going to be appropriate means to respond to that violence. I think members of the Freetown community, the Western area, we have seen over the past 3 days, the threats they made. The first day they said, sit down. People came out. The second day they said, they will come out. Pockets of them, the very small pockets of them who came out, I believe they saw what happened with the police. The police are robust, the security forces are robust, and they are ready and willing to protect our lives and property in this country. What happened in August 8th? What happened in August will never be repeated here. The security forces are poised for that. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, the regional chairman for the South. Let me just embellish it. The basic law of nature is preservation of oneself. You think we are going to see them, you come and take over our own territory, burn our houses, rape our children, kill our people. No, we are not going to sit down. That's the first law in nature. Use reasonable force to prevent somebody taking your life, taking your property, destroying your livelihood. Before, we're not going to wait for destiny. We are going to work towards destiny. That's what's going to happen. Now the next question. Somebody talked about the early voting, about our party agents, whether we got party agents. I don't know whether that's a real question. Okay then. The young generation leader, national young generation leader, who also is a professional engineer, will that he will give a succinct answer. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. To answer to that question, yes, for us, the SLPP, all the centers across every district, we have party agent there. And also we can confirm that other districts which we have party agent, they have confirmed to us that there are APC party agent in those centers. Thank you very much.
Yes, he's an engineer. He believes in figures. Thank you very much. Now, how do we dispel or react to misinformation? The man himself is here, the chairman of the publicity committee of our campaign.
Thank you very much. This is going to be in the spirit of the chairman. We're taking a cue from him. So for the first time, you will see me sit and respond to the question. The question was, how challenging is it to dispel misinformation by government, especially as elections loom? So we know there is quite a huge harvest of misinformation and disinformation right now than ever before in the history of our country. Most of the time using social media. When President Bill was elected in 2018, we had roughly about 360,000 people connected to social media. Today, you have about 2.7 million at the close of 2022. So that means it's very quantumly, by leaps and bounds, more and more Sierra Leoneans are now connected to the internet grid, which means you can sit in your village and generate a content that can go viral in Jakarta, around the world. So it's really very difficult now. A former Minister of Information visited me some time ago. He said to me, boy, you know what? I don't envy your role. When I was Minister of Information here, we only had SLBC and Attila's radio station. After a whole day of criticizing us, I jump into my car and get there, ask for right to respond. But today, you have over 250 radio stations dotted across the country, over 150 newspapers and magazines. So the environment is getting quite tough, quite crowded. But we have also developed mechanisms to deal with misinformation. One of such is what the party has done today. We are seated here and we have told you in very categorical terms, they have truths, the outright lies, and the rich diet of misinformation that Dr. Samura fed to this nation yesterday. So this is one effort we have made to deal with that. Apart from that, we work with various other organizations with large funded, iVerify, Udubawa, Salon Fact Checker, working with all of these organizations. And the ministry and party are positioned across this country. So once things happen, we give you the facts as away from the misinformation. So it's a very challenging time for government, not only here, around the world, but we are doing our best. And His Excellency has been on the campaign trail, every corner of this country. He has put boots on the ground, and all of these places, he has set a record straight. So for those who rely on misinformation to win this election, I have bad news for them. We will ensure that our people are briefed, updated every inch of the way. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I will only add that the veracity of any information is within the adage that the message is only as good as the messenger. And the messenger of this misinformation, the APC, are notoriously known to be liars. It has been proved beyond all reasonable doubt. So don't think people are dumbs in Sierra Leone. They have got their independent sources to get the right information. I come to the question whether they have any legal lacuna or the constitution right to say that ECSL should resign. I've just talked to Napoleon, who is the legal luminary. I say, you don't need a legal background to answer that question. The answer is no. Why do you waste? How do you waste your breath? And not common sense. Common sense is not common. It can be expensive. Now, Becquer law, you don't even need Becquer law for say no. It's no. But you can understand. Samura, he says he's got a PhD. We all studied in London. Let him publish it, your PhD, and where? My own PhD is King's College, London University. My number, alumnus number, is 42052. Go and source it out. I challenge Samura. If you have a PhD in London, you should have your alumnus number and which college. Because if I'd got an A-level up PhD, that's why I say this is less, even lower than Becquer law to say that you should let them move. So that's what I'm challenging. I doubt his qualification because I know what England stands for in terms of turgid qualification. Okay, even if you have BSc in witchcraft in London, you are among the best. So I now give to Napoleon to elaborate on the violence against the SLPP.
Beg to stand. Thank you very much. I thank you very much for that question. Like I said, we established an incident reporting center at the party headquarters here, and for the first 2 weeks, these are the incidents we've captured so far. In the northern region, we have 20 incidents we capture in the week. In the eastern region, we have 1, western area 7, southern region 5. The arson, we have about 2 attempted arson reported during this time frame. We have a threat of burning homes and business houses of supporters of the SLPP in the western area and the northern region, and an attempt on the premises of one of our party members who's also a senior government official. That matter is reported at the Israeli police. Now it's being investigated. We also have about 4 cases of assault resulting in rendering actual bodily harm to SLPP members and supporters from the APC. Some of the cases in view include 1, our party members were seriously beaten in Kamalo and Kamakwe for wearing the SLPP t-shirt. They were physically attacked in Kamalo and beaten. One of them is currently admitted in the Kamakwe hospital for any verification. Kamalo, yes, that's in Karine district, the home of Dr. Samura Kamara. The person is being admitted at the Kamakwe government hospital. He's been treated, and the matter is being reported to the Israeli police for investigation. In Moyamba, a lady was found with a SLPP t-shirt on her when she was attacked and beaten seriously by APC supporters who were on an unauthorized rally. They called jogging. They said they were jogging, and when they saw the lady with the SLPP t-shirt, she was seriously beaten. And they also went to the house of our young generation leader on the 1st of June, 12 noon, in the Kaboro Chiefdom Moyamba district, in that constituency, former constituency 94. They were seriously beaten by APC supporters, and she was also admitted and treated. And in Bombali as well, we received reports from our party members that APC youths attacked them the day of our rally, and some of our members were beaten and the victims were injured taken to the hospital and they've been treated. In Putloko, our party members were attacked in a place called Rotifunk, and there was another strong APC member by the name of Ibrahim Kamara, who is normally called Sami Eto. He works at the Green Ferry Terminal. All people passing through, their business people with SLPP t-shirts, we are stopped from entering to the terminal. Said they have to take off their t-shirts, and all sorts of abuses we are rained upon them. In Konneh district, we have a case of a chiefdom speaker in Nimiama Chiefdom, calls himself Chief Philip Kuruma of constituency 022 Swafe, Kweduton, Konneh district, who was reported on the 5th of June at 3:45 a.m. Went there. He's a senior member of the APC, confirmed that, and he was threatening all miners and farmers known to be supporters of the SLPP in the chiefdom, and he's threatening that if those are actively involved in any SLPP activities, he will withdraw all their licenses and they will not be allowed to mine in that part of the country. So these are some of the summary, and like I said, I will share the documents with you for you to study, and some of the areas have been cited, names have been called, and you can verify that as well. And some of the cases you can verify them with the Israeli police, who are currently investigating some of those cases. So those are the ones we captured for the first 2 weeks of the campaign. Of course, the second week, we've also been receiving reports. The second week started on Monday. We're processing that as well, and that will be sent out to the public through several media for the public to know that this was happening. But so far so good. We still keep calling on our party members to exercise restraint, as we believe the elections, we have a message and we have campaigned very well, and we know President Julius Malema will be resoundingly elected as President of the Republic for the second time in the 2024 campaign. Thank you.
There is somebody advocating for 50%, not even 30% for women. Can a woman stand up and ask a question? Thank you very much.
Hello everybody, my name is Solomon. I'm from Rise Radio. I was fortunate to be at the press briefing yesterday with the APC, and you mentioned earlier, Mr. Chairman, that 90% of the accusations made were false. Dr. Samura Kamara mentioned that the CSL boss is a bona fide and certified SLPP supporter. How true is that?
Thank you. Let me just pleasantly correct you. We do not say 90% is false and is inaccurate. That means 10% will be accurate. Maybe 1% accurate, it can be damaging. We said 90% of the accusations were against ECL. We are very good in English here. SLPP, let me tell you. Anyway, let him prove it. I'm not going to let him prove it. That's all I can say. Thank you. So without much ado, I would love to talk to you, but I want to go to the field to talk to the voters. Many they complain. This game, about. Anyway, I tell you thanks, all of you who meet again, yeah? God bless you. The chairman here will take care of you. He will take care of you.
Avant la chose, ça vous Napoléon. Avant ça, Napoléon. Napoléon. Weekend? It's not like weekend. Okay. I like it.
Benji, take for.
Hey, take some out. Hey.
Thank you.
Hey. Now the rest. Hey, now be careful.
Good afternoon, everybody. For you will be the watch me. This is Samura Network, and we in our SLPP party headquarters office as they call on a press conference on the young standing of the press statement yesterday with Dr. Samura made. So if they join the press conference just they done now. And so we don't tell us say our network will make sure that for bring every happening of this June 24 elections that we will continue for bringing anything where they happen in a salon till after the election. One for tell thank you. Stay blessed and bye bye.